Hello and welcome to this taster session of the must-see street in Cambridge. My name is Murray. I'm a Cambridge Green Badge guide, and if you want to find out a little bit more about me, you can have a look at my website, which is hiddencambridge.co.uk. But for the moment, I want to focus on one street that I think you have to see when you come to Cambridge, and where there are a number of must-see things on it. So first of all, let me disappear myself, and let me show you the street that I'm talking about. Now here it is, King's Parade, and I think this is the most attractive street in Cambridge. Now, you might not be wildly impressed with this scene. You're looking at quite a few bricks and half a coffee shop, but hold on, let me zoom out, pan around, and hopefully you'll be a little bit more impressed. Okay, I think that looks a little bit more impressive. Now on the right-hand side, we have Great St Mary's Church. This is the largest parish church in the centre of Cambridge. Back in 2018, this was where the funeral service for Stephen Hawking was held. Now, for those of you who have seen the film about his life, The Theory of Everything, you'll know that the main stars were Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones, and both of them attended that funeral service. Now, this brown building directly in front, this is one of the colleges. Now, Cambridge University is a collegiate university, and that means it's made up of colleges, and there are 31 in total. This one we're looking at here is Gonville and Caius College. It's the fourth oldest, and this is where Stephen Hawking was a fellow or senior professor for over 50 years. Now, this rather impressive building on the left, this is the Senate House. Now, this is a university building, and this is where the university students have their graduation ceremony. Unlike most other UK universities, you don't graduate with people in your subject, you graduate with people from your college. And actually, it's a rather lengthy process, and it takes 4 days to get through everyone. Now, we've got one more university building on the left-hand side. This is the Old Schools building. This was where Cambridge University Library was first established. But by the 1930s, the library had outgrown that building, and it's now about a 10-minute walk away. The university use it now for administration. Now, for those of you who like music, and I'm thinking especially Christmas Eve, then you probably know this building. This is King's College Chapel. And so on Christmas Eve, this might be where you're watching carols from King's, and also it's where you're listening to the Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols. Now let's just have another look at King's Parade. And again, I think you'll agree with me that it's a fairly attractive street. On the right-hand side, we have a number of buildings which are all connected with King's College. If you go further down on the right-hand side, it kind of merges into St Catherine's College. And on the left-hand side, we've got a range of buildings from different periods, and you've got shops running underneath. Now, there's one fairly recent attraction in Cambridge that many people like to see. And so let's go have a look at that. Now, I've been told not to work with animals or children, and recently people have warned me about Google Street View. Well, let's see what happens. Well, I'm not too unhappy with that. The thing I wanted to mention to you was this gold thing here. That was installed in 2008, and it's become very popular. You can see there's a group of visitors here who are hearing all about it. If you looked closely on the right-hand side, you would find that there are actually 2 more groups, and they're also about to hear about it. Now, that is nearly the end of this taster. If you'd like to watch the longer version of the must-sees, then you'll find out exactly what this gold thing is, why it's there, and why someone working in that building described it as both hypnotically beautiful and deeply disturbing. And let me take you back up King's Parade and mention some of the other things you'll hear about. So here is King's College, and there is King's College Chapel. Now, the chapel is surely one of the most visited sites in Cambridge. But why is it so popular? What should you look for when you visit? And what did Charles Darwin's love of the music he heard in the chapel lead him to do? Now, here's the Senate House. Now, one particular story stands out, a scarcely believable story of daring and ingenuity that made the front page of the Cambridge Daily News. But what was it? And now we're back at Great St Mary's Church. Just why exactly is this church so closely linked to the University of Cambridge? And which famous monarch, in their one and only visit to the city, left their audience in Great St Mary's astonished? You can find out the answer to these things in the longer version of the must-sees. But on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this taster. Thank you.